My beloved child. There are moments in life when the truth does not arrive with loud footsteps. It comes quietly, almost unnoticed, until one single realization changes everything. Today is one of those moments. If these words have reached you, it is not by accident. A hidden chapter has been unfolding behind the scenes, and while you could not see every detail, every piece has been moving toward this very point. Your heart has carried questions that no one else seemed able to answer. Why did the connection feel so powerful, yet so delayed? Why did hope continue to return even after silence? Why did your spirit refuse to let go? The answer is closer than you think. There has been far more happening beneath the surface than you ever imagined. While you focused on your own healing, your soulmate began noticing patterns that once seemed ordinary. Conversations that suddenly changed direction, unexpected misunderstandings, strange moments of distance, and confusing emotions that appeared without explanation slowly started forming a picture. What once looked like coincidence no longer felt random. Piece by piece, your soulmate realized that certain influences had quietly shaped the path of this connection. Not because your bond lacked strength, but because every meaningful relationship is tested before it reaches its greatest season. The most surprising part is not that obstacles appeared. The surprise is that your soulmate has finally begun seeing them with clear eyes. The confusion that once clouded every decision is fading. Every unanswered question is becoming another clue. Every memory is taking on new meaning. Events that once seemed disconnected now fit together like pieces of a puzzle that has waited patiently to be completed. This realization is not creating fear. It is creating clarity. And clarity is often the beginning of remarkable change. There were voices that encouraged doubt. There were situations that created unnecessary distance. There were moments when timing itself seemed determined to stand in the way. Yet none of those things could erase what was genuine. Real connections have a way of surviving even the longest seasons of uncertainty. Beneath every delay, the truth remained quietly alive, waiting for the right moment to reveal itself. Your soulmate has recently experienced something difficult to explain. It was not a dramatic event that everyone witnessed. Instead, it was a series of small discoveries that carried enormous meaning. A forgotten conversation suddenly made sense. A past decision revealed a hidden reason. An unexpected detail connected with another memory. These tiny moments became impossible to ignore. The deeper they looked, the more obvious the pattern became. What once felt like bad luck now appeared to be a carefully disguised lesson leading toward wisdom. At first, your soulmate questioned their own thoughts. They wondered if they were imagining connections that did not exist. But every new realization confirmed the last one. Confidence quietly replaced uncertainty. The heart became calmer. The mind became clearer. Instead of reacting with frustration, they began responding with understanding. That shift changed everything. When truth replaces confusion, peace begins to take root. Meanwhile, something inside you has also been changing. Even if you cannot fully describe it, your heart has been preparing for a new season. You have grown stronger than you realize. Challenges that once felt impossible have quietly become stepping stones. You have learned patience without noticing it. You have learned resilience without asking for it. Those lessons were never wasted. They were preparing you for the moment when everything finally starts making sense. The remarkable thing about genuine connections is that they continue growing even during silence. Distance does not always mean separation. Waiting does not always mean denial. Sometimes life slows everything down so both hearts can become ready for the future they truly desire. Looking back, you may one day realize that every delay protected something precious that could not be rushed. Your soulmate is beginning to recognize the difference between temporary distractions and lasting truth. The people, opinions, and circumstances that once carried enormous weight no longer have the same influence. Their focus is shifting. Their priorities are changing. Their heart is becoming courageous enough to follow what feels authentic instead of what appears convenient. That kind of transformation cannot be forced. It happens naturally when wisdom replaces uncertainty. There is still more to be uncovered. Not every answer has arrived yet. Some pieces remain hidden because the right moment has not fully arrived. But the direction is becoming unmistakably clear. The story is moving forward, not backward. Every new realization is opening another door that once seemed permanently closed. Every step forward reveals another reason to believe that this connection has not reached its final chapter. Imagine standing before a sunrise after believing the night would never end. That is the kind of hope quietly growing beneath the surface. It is steady rather than loud. It is confident rather than hurried. It does not depend on perfect circumstances. It grows because truth has finally begun replacing confusion. As this journey continues, even greater discoveries are waiting beyond the horizon. Some truths cannot be revealed all at once because their impact would be too overwhelming. Instead, each revelation arrives exactly when it is needed. The next chapter holds answers that neither you nor your soulmate expected to find, and those answers have the power to reshape everything you believed about this connection. A quiet change is taking place, and neither you nor your soulmate can ignore it any longer. The pieces that once seemed scattered are beginning to align with remarkable precision. Every unanswered question is slowly finding its place, and every unexpected delay is revealing a purpose that could not be understood before. Your soulmate is no longer looking at the past through the lens of confusion. Instead, they are revisiting memories with fresh understanding. Moments that once appeared ordinary now carry extraordinary meaning. A single conversation, a forgotten promise, a small misunderstanding, and an unexpected silence have all become part of a much larger picture. As these realizations continue to unfold, your soulmate is beginning to understand that not every opinion deserved to be trusted. There were distractions that pulled attention away from what truly mattered. There were assumptions that created unnecessary distance. There were situations that encouraged hesitation instead of honesty. Yet through every challenge, one truth remained unchanged. The connection never completely disappeared. It waited patiently beneath the surface, growing stronger in ways that neither of you could fully see. What surprises your soulmate most is not simply discovering what stood in the way. The greatest surprise is discovering how resilient this connection has become. Every obstacle that seemed powerful has only strengthened the desire to understand what is real. Every season of waiting has created greater appreciation. Every unanswered question has increased the value of the answers that are finally beginning to appear. Recently, your soulmate noticed something impossible to ignore. They recognized familiar patterns repeating themselves in completely different situations. That realization brought an unexpected sense of peace. Instead of blaming circumstances, they began focusing on truth. Instead of reacting emotionally, they started listening carefully to their own heart. With every passing day, confidence replaced uncertainty. Hope quietly returned where doubt once lived. You may not realize it yet, but your own journey has been changing at the same time. You have become wiser through experiences that once felt unfair. You have learned patience during seasons that seemed endless. You have discovered strength in moments when you thought you had none left. Those lessons have shaped you into someone prepared for the future rather than someone trapped by the past. One remarkable truth is becoming impossible to overlook. Genuine connections cannot be defined by temporary confusion. They are revealed through consistency, growth, understanding, and courage. Your soulmate is beginning to value those qualities more than ever before. The opinions that once carried so much weight are becoming quieter. The inner voice that speaks with honesty is becoming stronger. There is still another layer waiting to be revealed. The answers already discovered are meaningful, but they are only the beginning. Each realization is opening the door to another one. Every step forward uncovers another hidden detail that explains why this journey unfolded exactly as it did. Looking back, what once appeared to be random now resembles careful preparation for something greater. Your soulmate is also beginning to understand that forgiveness creates freedom. Holding on to frustration only keeps the past alive. Letting go allows a new chapter to begin. That understanding is creating a quiet transformation within their heart. Their focus is no longer on what was lost but on what can still be built. Hope is becoming stronger than fear. Clarity is becoming louder than confusion. As this new season unfolds, both of your paths are moving toward greater understanding. The timing may not have matched your expectations, but timing often reveals its wisdom only after the waiting is over. What seemed delayed may have actually been protected. What felt uncertain may have been preparing both hearts for a stronger foundation than either of you imagined. The story is far from over. More discoveries are waiting beyond the next chapter, and those discoveries promise to reveal not only what happened behind the scenes, but also how every challenge shaped a future filled with greater wisdom, deeper trust, and renewed hope. The journey continues, and the next revelation may change the way you see this connection forever. A new realization has quietly entered your soulmate's heart, and it refuses to leave. The more they reflect on everything that has happened, the clearer the journey becomes. They are no longer asking, "Why did this happen?" Instead, they are asking, "What was I meant to learn?" That single change in perspective has opened a door that had remained closed for a very long time. What once felt like endless uncertainty is now becoming a path illuminated by understanding. Every delay, every unexpected turn, and every unanswered question is beginning to reveal a purpose that could only be seen with time. Your soulmate has started reconnecting moments that were once forgotten. A simple conversation that seemed insignificant now carries remarkable meaning. An old memory has returned with new clarity. A feeling they ignored before suddenly makes perfect sense. It is as though hidden pieces have been waiting patiently until the exact moment they could finally fit together. Nothing appears random anymore. The journey that once felt confusing now seems carefully woven together by lessons that neither of you could have understood at the beginning. One of the greatest discoveries has nothing to do with fear or blame. It is the realization that truth always finds its way to the surface. No matter how long something remains hidden, honesty has a quiet strength that cannot remain buried forever. Your soulmate has begun trusting that strength. They are no longer distracted by temporary appearances. Instead, they are paying attention to consistency, kindness, patience, and the genuine emotions that have continued to remain despite every challenge. At the same time, something within you has also been growing. Even during moments when you felt nothing was changing, your heart was becoming stronger. Every experience shaped your character. Every challenge taught you wisdom. Every season of waiting quietly prepared you for a future that required greater understanding than you possessed before. Looking back, you may eventually realize that what felt like standing still was actually steady progress happening beneath the surface. Your soulmate is beginning to understand that lasting connections are never measured by perfect circumstances. They are measured by perseverance, honesty, compassion, and the willingness to keep believing when answers seem distant. That realization is transforming the way they think about everything that happened between the two of you. Instead of focusing on what went wrong, they are beginning to recognize everything that quietly continued to go right, even during difficult seasons. The atmosphere surrounding this connection feels different now. Where uncertainty once created hesitation, confidence is beginning to grow. Where confusion once clouded every decision, peace is taking its place. This change is not loud or dramatic. It is calm, steady, and deeply rooted. Those are often the strongest kinds of transformations because they come from genuine understanding rather than temporary emotion. There is another remarkable truth slowly coming into view. Your soulmate has started recognizing how much both of you have changed since this journey began. Neither of you is the same person you once were. Life has refined your perspectives, strengthened your patience, and deepened your appreciation for meaningful relationships. Those changes have prepared both hearts for conversations, opportunities, and decisions that may not have been possible before. Every chapter of this story has carried hidden value. Even the difficult moments became teachers. Even the unanswered questions created wisdom. Even the waiting developed strength. None of those experiences were empty. They were quietly building a foundation capable of supporting something stronger than either of you imagined. Sometimes the greatest gift is not receiving answers quickly but becoming the person who can truly appreciate those answers when they finally arrive. As this journey continues, more truths are waiting to be uncovered. New understanding is approaching with every passing day. The story is still unfolding, and its most meaningful moments may not belong to the past but to the future. Hope is replacing uncertainty, clarity is replacing confusion, and the connection that once seemed surrounded by unanswered questions is moving steadily toward a season defined by honesty, peace, and genuine understanding. The next chapter holds another unexpected discovery. One that has the potential to reshape everything your soulmate believes about this remarkable connection. Everything is beginning to come together in a way that neither you nor your soulmate expected. The hidden questions that once filled every quiet moment are no longer creating fear. They are creating understanding. Your soulmate has reached a point where they are no longer searching for someone to blame. Instead, they are recognizing the lessons hidden inside every chapter of this journey. That shift has changed everything. When the heart chooses wisdom over confusion, even the most difficult memories begin revealing valuable truths that were impossible to see before. Looking back, your soulmate can now identify the exact moments when uncertainty quietly entered this connection. There were unexpected misunderstandings, missed opportunities, and conversations that never reached the place they were meant to go. At the time, those moments felt disappointing. Today, they look completely different. Every delay seems to have carried a purpose. Every challenge became an opportunity for growth. Every unanswered question strengthened the desire to seek honesty instead of assumptions. What once appeared to be the end of hope was actually the beginning of greater clarity. The most remarkable realization is that genuine connections are not defined by perfect timing alone. They are strengthened through patience, understanding, forgiveness, and personal growth. Your soulmate has discovered that lasting relationships are built when two hearts continue learning, even during seasons when nothing seems to be moving forward. That realization has filled them with quiet confidence. They are beginning to trust the journey instead of fearing it. As your soulmate reflects on everything that has happened, another truth becomes impossible to ignore. Every experience has changed both of you in meaningful ways. You have become more resilient, more compassionate, and more aware of what truly matters. The expectations that once created pressure have slowly been replaced with deeper appreciation. The desire for immediate answers has become a willingness to wait for the right ones. Those changes are preparing both hearts for conversations that will carry far greater meaning than they ever could have before. There is also a growing sense of peace that neither of you expected. It does not come from having every answer. It comes from knowing that honesty always finds its way forward. Your soulmate is beginning to understand that truth has its own timing. It cannot be rushed, but it can never remain hidden forever. That realization has removed much of the uncertainty that once surrounded this connection. Instead of wondering whether the future holds hope, they are beginning to believe that every lesson has been leading toward a stronger foundation. The path ahead is becoming brighter with every passing day. Small moments are creating meaningful change. Quiet realizations are becoming lasting confidence. Every step forward reveals another reason to believe that this story has not reached its greatest chapter yet. What seemed impossible months ago now feels increasingly within reach. The distance between confusion and clarity grows smaller with every new understanding. Your soulmate has also learned that true peace begins when fear no longer controls every decision. Instead of reacting to old disappointments, they are choosing to move forward with wisdom. Instead of focusing on what cannot be changed, they are appreciating what can still be created. That mindset has transformed the way they see this entire journey. They are no longer defined by past uncertainty. They are becoming guided by hope, maturity, and a renewed belief in authentic connection. Meanwhile, your own heart has been quietly preparing for this season as well. Every challenge has refined your perspective. Every moment of waiting has strengthened your patience. Every unexpected turn has taught you to recognize what is genuine. None of those experiences were wasted. They were building a future where understanding is stronger than misunderstanding and where trust is stronger than fear. Now the story stands at the edge of another important chapter. The answers already discovered have brought remarkable clarity, but they are only the beginning. New opportunities, meaningful conversations, and unexpected moments of understanding are drawing closer. The journey continues with greater confidence than ever before because both hearts have grown into people capable of appreciating what they once struggled to understand. The greatest discoveries are no longer hidden in the distance, they are approaching one step at a time, bringing with them a future shaped by wisdom, hope, and a connection strengthened through every lesson along the way. A remarkable calm has settled over this journey, but do not mistake that calm for stillness. Beneath the surface, meaningful changes are continuing to unfold. Your soulmate has reached a place where every new day brings another quiet realization. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by the past, they are beginning to see it as a collection of lessons that prepared them for this very moment. Every misunderstanding has become a source of wisdom. Every delay has revealed unexpected strength. Every unanswered question has led them toward a deeper understanding of what truly matters. The greatest surprise has not been discovering that challenges existed. The greatest surprise has been realizing that those challenges never had the power to erase what was genuine. Real connections are tested, refined, and strengthened over time. They do not disappear simply because the journey becomes difficult. Your soulmate now understands this more clearly than ever before. They are beginning to recognize that the strongest foundations are often built during the seasons when nothing appears to be happening at all. As they revisit old memories, they notice details that were once overlooked. Words spoken long ago suddenly carry new meaning. Moments that once felt confusing now seem perfectly placed within the larger story. It is as though every experience has been waiting for the right moment to reveal its purpose. This new perspective has replaced uncertainty with quiet confidence. Instead of asking whether this connection can survive, your soulmate is beginning to appreciate how much it has already survived. At the same time, your own journey has been shaping you in remarkable ways. You have learned to value honesty over assumptions, patience over haste, and hope over discouragement. Those lessons were not accidental. They were preparing your heart for a future that requires wisdom as much as emotion. Looking back, you may one day realize that every season of waiting was also a season of becoming stronger. There is another important realization unfolding. Your soulmate has discovered that peace does not come from controlling every outcome. It comes from trusting what is genuine and allowing truth to unfold in its proper time. That understanding has lifted a burden they carried for far too long. Instead of fearing what tomorrow may bring, they are beginning to welcome the future with renewed confidence and gratitude. The connection itself feels different now. It is no longer defined by unanswered questions alone. It is becoming defined by growth, maturity, and a clearer understanding of what both hearts truly value. Every lesson has added another layer of strength. Every challenge has increased appreciation for the possibility of a brighter future. The path ahead may still hold surprises, but it no longer feels uncertain in the same way it once did. Your soulmate also recognizes that genuine change always begins within. Before relationships transform, people transform. Before new opportunities appear, new perspectives develop. That inner growth has already begun. It is quiet, steady, and authentic. It is creating a foundation that is far stronger than temporary emotions or passing circumstances. This kind of growth lasts because it is rooted in understanding rather than impulse. Now another chapter is approaching. It is not built on confusion but on clarity. It is not guided by fear but by wisdom. The discoveries made so far have only prepared both of you for what comes next. Every lesson has served its purpose. Every delay has carried meaning. Every unexpected turn has quietly guided this story toward a future that neither of you could fully imagine at the beginning. As this journey continues, one truth stands above everything else: meaningful connections are strengthened by patience, honesty, forgiveness, and hope. Those qualities are now shining more brightly than ever before. The story is still unfolding, and its most meaningful moments may still be waiting just beyond the next chapter, where greater understanding, renewed trust, and lasting peace are ready to shape everything that comes next. The final pieces are beginning to settle into place, and your soulmate can feel that this chapter is unlike any that came before. The uncertainty that once surrounded this connection is slowly giving way to a quiet confidence. Looking back, they no longer see a story filled only with delays. They see a journey that patiently shaped two hearts through lessons that could not have been learned any other way. Every challenge became an opportunity to grow. Every pause became a chance to reflect. Every unexpected turn prepared both of you for a future built on greater understanding rather than assumptions. One realization now stands above all the others. The strongest connections are not those that never face difficulties. They are the ones that emerge from those difficulties with deeper trust, greater wisdom, and renewed appreciation. Your soulmate has begun to recognize that every meaningful relationship requires courage. The courage to remain hopeful, the courage to choose honesty, and the courage to believe that truth will always find its way into the light. That realization has changed the way they see everything that happened between the two of you. There was a time when unanswered questions seemed impossible to escape. Every silence felt significant. Every delay appeared endless. But today those same moments tell a different story. They reveal patience instead of frustration, growth instead of fear, and resilience instead of disappointment. Your soulmate understands now that some answers arrive only after both hearts have become ready to receive them. That readiness cannot be rushed. It develops quietly through experience, reflection, and personal growth. Your own journey has followed the same path. You have become stronger than you realize. The person you are today carries more wisdom, more compassion, and more clarity than the person who first began this journey. Even when you believed nothing was changing, your character was being refined. Every lesson prepared you for a future where genuine understanding matters more than perfect circumstances. Now your soulmate is beginning to look ahead rather than behind. Instead of dwelling on what could have been, they are focusing on what can still be created. That change in perspective is opening new possibilities. Hope is replacing hesitation. Confidence is replacing uncertainty. Gratitude is replacing regret. These are not small changes, they are the foundation of every lasting relationship built on sincerity and mutual respect. The most encouraging part of this story is that neither of you arrived here by accident. Every chapter contributed something valuable. Every experience added another layer of maturity. Every challenge revealed another reason to appreciate the connection that continued to endure despite the obstacles. Looking back, what once seemed like setbacks now appear to have been important milestones leading toward a stronger future. As this story reaches the end of one chapter, it also opens the door to another. The greatest discovery was never simply identifying the obstacles that appeared along the way. The greatest discovery was realizing how much both of you had grown because of them. That growth has transformed uncertainty into wisdom and waiting into preparation. The future is still unwritten, but it no longer feels hidden by confusion. It feels filled with possibility. The lessons of the past have become the strength of the present, and that strength will guide every step that follows. Whatever comes next, it will be met with greater clarity, deeper understanding, and a renewed appreciation for the journey that brought both hearts to this moment. The story continues, not as one defined by unanswered questions, but as one shaped by hope, resilience, and the quiet confidence that genuine connections become stronger when they are built on truth, patience, and lasting understanding.